Assalamu alaikum, everybody. My name is Fatima Rasul, and welcome to today's Zoom in on the Halal Metropolis, where we take a closer look at how the Muslim communities of Southeast Michigan are coping with the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, we will be talking with Hajer Alchalabi about just how she's dealing with the pandemic. She's a phlebotomist at a local hospital and also a graduating student. Congratulations. So, Hajer, I just want to check in with you. How are you doing? How's your family doing?
Yeah, so I work at Beaumont-Wayne. We were the first hospital in Southeast Michigan to become a full COVID hospital. And alhamdulillah, things have been changing from day to day, and we're just going, with the flow, with whatever, management tells us. So that's really how we're going with it.
That's good. How have you been dealing with just trying to balance everything from your family to work, which is so stressful, I imagine, and also school?
So thankfully for me, like you said, I am a senior. I am graduating. Of course, comes with that, our commencement was canceled, which was really, really sad to hear for both me and my family. I am only taking a couple classes, but it's very hard being that a lot of my coworkers quit. And so I have to work a lot more now. So rather than working 20 hours a week, I'm working 6 days a week. Mm-hmm. So it's very hard for me to go to class, online class. Mm-hmm. I mean, I do talk to my professors. They're very, very understanding, but it definitely has put me behind in school. As for my family, they're literally always scared, which I don't blame them, especially being a full COVID hospital. That really does put me and my family at risk for, getting the virus. Yeah. But like I said, we're taking it day by day. Really going off the safety procedures, PPE, to try to dress down and dress what you're supposed to wear. And then coming back home, I come and I'm sprayed with Lysol every day. But the hospital is changing things for us. So now I actually do change my scrubs in the hospital, which is great because I don't have to contaminate my clothes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I go straight to the shower right away so that I don't touch anything while I'm home.
So can you tell me a little more about what's happening in the hospital, what it looks like every day by day, if things are changing?
Yeah, so it has been changing ever since it started in March. We, like I said, did turn to a full COVID hospital. So it was just crazy seeing the transformation. For a week, we had our emergency room all just shut down because we're turning our emergency room into an ICU overflow. And so it was just crazy going down there, seeing it empty while they got it ready. And then when everything came in and all our patients came in, just seeing this transition of how everyone is masked and geared up, it's really scary actually. Mm-hmm. Especially going into ICU, every room has at least 3 IV pulls coming out of it. And mm-hmm. It's just a lot. It's a lot to take in. You see very, very, very sick patients. And there's no visitors, so everyone is really lonely, and it's just a very different feeling from how it usually is. It's very depressing, and I mean, not to be all sad and everything, but there is good too. We are getting donated almost every single day. They donate us food. On all our windows there's hearts and there's healthcare hero stuff. So I do feel like they're trying, to make it so that it's not that depressing. But I mean, with things considered, we actually don't have that many patients in our hospital right now since we had a lot of our nurses quit. We actually had 11, 12 nurses quit from my understanding. So we only have 67 patients in our hospital right now, which our hospital could take probably over 200 people. I might be wrong, but it's definitely more than 67. Just our ICU was 67 that we got ready for, but we can't take that many people because we don't have the staff for it. So that's really challenging. And I don't know what they're going to do with us now. I don't know what they're going to do with our hospital. So like I said, everything keeps changing, and we're always on our feet. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And I really commend you all for the work that you're doing. It's so important, and you guys are really the backbone of this crisis right now, and supporting and uplifting everybody. And can you tell me more about what we could do to help and support you guys?
Honestly, just stay at home. I tell this to everyone, you do not need to go and just get one thing from the grocery store. Make a list of things that you want, because we're not able, these patients need a lot of help. And I think for me personally, and this is something I've told a lot of people, I wish people could be seeing what I'm seeing in the hospital. Like, I don't think that the whole thing where, oh, only grown-ups get it, or only if you have like prior health conditions. No, that's not true. Like, for me, like going, because I go and draw blood, I would say 80% of the people are ages 20 to 50. Like, I really see, I've been working there for over 2 years now, and I've never seen such a like young age group. And it's like seeing them all intubated and seeing them like all like lifeless. It's like, it's so scary. And I wish with all my heart people could see like how real this is. And like people are dying. Like, we have a morgue that's open right next door because we don't have enough in our morgue because it's overflowing, and we've never had something like that before. And it's just like, it's young people. I was in the room once with an ICU nurse, and this was a 33-year-old patient, and she was in ICU intubated, literally purple because she's drowning in her own fluids. And the nurse was not able to like, go all the way down in her lungs because she was like so full. And the nurse literally leans against the wall, and she's an ICU nurse. She's like, I'm an ICU nurse. She's like, I've never cried. Like, ICU nurses don't cry. She's like, but I cry every day because there's nothing I could do to help them. Mm-hmm. Because, we don't have treatment. All we can do, she's like, all I could do is like, do what I can, intubating them and all that. But she's like, it's not really in my hands anymore. And so like that really puts into perspective, like, this is a real thing. This is not just a flu. And like, we need to be careful. Like, we need to like, don't like I said, stay home. It is so important. But yeah, stay home, wash your hands, pretty much.
And honestly, it's such a small task compared to what healthcare workers, what other essential workers are going through every single day, being exposed to the virus. And stay home and keep your future, keep our graduation, maybe someday it'll come, protected.
I hope.
Yeah. All right. So I know that another big issue right now for healthcare workers is that there's not enough PPE. There's not enough equipment for you guys to wear to stay safe while you are helping patients. So can you tell me a little about how you guys are dealing with that at Beaumont?
So at Beaumont-Wayne right now, we are wearing the same N95 mask and the same shield all day. If it's like all like, which is all COVID now, but we wear the same gown as well from room to room in that hallway. So how we have it is that we have every hallway blocked off. In the middle is kind of like our clean area. So, I mean, for that, like having one a day, we do have enough of that. But like I said, as this pandemic keeps going, I don't know that we'll have enough. Mm-hmm. So something else I think that was really different for me, that really changed for me, was wearing the PPE. People don't realize how much equipment we have to wear. We have to wear N95s that are very hard to breathe in, face shields that make it very hard to see, gowns that make it very hard to move. And I personally wear 3 sets of gloves. And I'm a phlebotomist, so I draw blood, and it's extremely hard to do my job not being able to breathe, see, or touch, or like feel anything. So I think that comes to another challenge with all the things that the nurses, the phlebotomists, respiratory therapists, like everything everyone has to do. Like, they have to do it while they're sweating, while they can't see, or they can't breathe, or they can't feel. So I think that also is like something that's really important that not many people talk about or like realize, but until like you actually have to go in the room, you're like, wow, like I can't breathe in this. So also like taking off the mask, I'm like, wow, like I can breathe now, and I have that luxury at this point because, a lot of the biggest thing with our COVID patients is that they can't breathe. So
yeah. All right, well, Hajer, again, like, thank you so much for the work that you do. Thank you to Beaumont and everything that you guys are doing to keep Metro Detroit safe and healthy. Thank you for joining us on today's Zoom-in. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.